You do solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the court on the issue now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and so help you God.
I swear.
Please have a seat for me. Once seated, if you would please state and spell your true and correct legal name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Sergeant Mark Gasque, that's MarkGasque. I work for the Cobb County Police Department.
Wonderful. How long have you been a sergeant for Cobb County Police?
10 years.
Right, and how many years total have you been with Cobb County Police?
19.
Are you post-certified?
I am.
I want to jump right into November 18th of 2021. Where were you assigned at that point in time as a sergeant?
I was a sergeant in our Major Crimes Homicide Division.
And what are the job responsibilities of a sergeant with major crimes?
You triage the calls that come in. Obviously, you handle and delegate the case assignments, and then obviously you monitor the investigation as it goes through.
Are you still a detective as a sergeant with major crimes?
I am, yes, ma'am.
So you do detective work as well as supervising?
I do.
Okay. And as part of the supervision responsibilities you have, does that include crime scene technicians?
Yes, when I was in homicide, the crime scene technicians fall underneath the sergeants of the unit.
Were you working back on November 18th of 2021?
I was.
All right, and at that point in time, do you recall what your hours were just in terms of days versus evenings?
I worked the day shift.
Now, was that a weekday?
It was.
So were you actually in the office on November 18th of 2021?
Yes, I was.
Did you get a call regarding 5059 Verbena Drive?
Yeah, I believe it was just before 10 a.m. that morning.
Is that here in Cobb County?
It is.
All right, what did you do upon receiving notification of a call coming from 5059 Verbena Drive?
So when you receive a call like that, and obviously this one was involving 2 deaths, so it's a little bit larger of a response, you begin delegating. First you assign who's going to be your primary detective, who's going to be his secondary, which crime scene technicians are going to go, who's typing search warrants. You just start laying out a plan.
How many detectives worked under you approximately back in 2021?
On day shift, I believe we were between 10 and 12 of us.
And typically are really all 10 to 12 of you working on a case at the same time?
Yes.
In this particular case, who was assigned to the lead agent?
Detective Standard.
Did you actually respond to the scene that day?
I did.
All right, and prior to taking the stand today, did you and I have the opportunity to go through crime scene photos?
Yes, we did.
And was that taken by someone you supervised as the crime scene technician?
Correct. I was the crime scene supervisor that day.
Very good. And so prior to testifying, did you look at States Exhibits 10 through 305?
Yes.
Okay, and all of those have previously been shown to defense counsel. Are all of those photos true and accurate photographs of the scene as you observed it on November 18th of 2021?
They are.
Statements to tender States Exhibit 10 through 305.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 10 through 305 are admitted.
Very good. And I begin publishing.
Yes.
All right, we won't go through every single one of these, but there's your little here.
Some of these are duplicious,
Okay, thank you.
similar.
All right, and so noted for the record.
All right, so starting here with States Exhibit 10, what is being documented in States 10?
This is the mailbox to show the physical address of the home.
States Exhibit 12 here, what is this walkway we're looking at in States 12?
This is the sidewalk leading from the driveway we were just looking at around to the front door of the home.
Now we can see here, kind of in the Pine Straw area, ADT security. Was there an ADT security system?
Yes, there was, and it was actively monitored, an active account.
And was that like a video surveillance system or just an alarm system?
Just an alarm system.
States Exhibit 13, what are we looking at here?
This is the front door of the home.
States Exhibit 15, what am I pointing out in States Exhibit 15 on the door frame?
That's a Nest doorbell camera.
Now, were you able to determine whether there was any active storage or footage from that front doorbell camera?
We were, and there was not. It was a live-only viewing subscription, so no stored data.
State's Exhibit 17. What am I pointing at in State's Exhibit 17?
That's a newspaper beside the mailbox.
I'm looking at State's 19 here. Did it have the date of that newspaper?
Correct. It had Thursday, November 18th, so the morning we were out there.
So obviously not been picked up.
Correct.
State's Exhibit 20. What type of truck do we see in the driveway?
That's a Ford F-150.
Is it customary to take kind of 360-degree angle of vehicles that are in or within front seats?
Yes, it is.
State's Exhibit 22, is that one of those photographs?
Correct, of the same truck.
State's 23.
And that would be the other side of the truck.
Then State's 24.
And the rear of the truck.
All right, was there any damage that you noted to this vehicle?
No.
State's Exhibit 25 here, what are we looking at in State's 25?
So this would be the garage doors directly behind that truck, and then a side door to the home just past that flag.
State's Exhibit 27.
Yep, and we're continuing down that sidewalk just past the garage doors to that side door.
The side door, is that what I'm pointing at on the
Correct.
right-hand side?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 28 here. Is this a kind of straight-on view of that side door?
Correct, as if we're continuing down the sidewalk.
Up in this corner near that side door, is there another sort of camera?
Yes, I believe that was another Nest camera, and then also live view only, so no paid subscription.
Now, State's Exhibit 29 here, do you recall whether this door was locked or unlocked?
It was locked, yes.
And State's Exhibit 30, what was to the left side of that door?
A delivered package.
State's Exhibit 32, what side of the house are we on now?
I believe you'd be on the south side of the house, so this is continuing past the door we were at, so the side of the driveway.
And what do we see up in the corner of the house?
That's a motion floodlight.
State's Exhibit 33.
That's continuing around the side of the home we were just looking at, so now we're in the backyard.
State's Exhibit 34.
Again, continuing around toward the back door of the home and the patio.
State's Exhibit 35.
And that would be the back patio, so we're looking straight at the rear of the home.
State's Exhibit 36.
That's a sunroom, or I believe it was the playroom for Jacob, and where their Christmas tree was inside that room.
Now, is it customary to kind of continue taking photos all the way around the house?
It is, yes ma'am.
So State's Exhibit 37, are we making our way further around the house?
Correct.
State's Exhibit 39 is continuing to walk the perimeter of the home.
Yes ma'am.
And State's Exhibit 41, where is this vantage point?
And now we would believe be on the north side of the home, looking toward the front of the home there.
Now we're going to focus on that kind of rear patio area. Was there any other damage on the exterior of this home, with the exception that of the window we're about to focus on?
No.
Now looking at State's Exhibit 42 here, did this door go into the residence?
It went into a sunroom area.
Was that locked?
It was locked, yes.
Looking at State's 43, is there another door kind of directly across from the sunroom door?
Yes, going into the child's playroom area.
And was that door locked?
Yes, it was locked.
And was there any damage that you all observed to either of those doors, like crime marks or anything, to indicate there had been attempted entry even at those doors?
No, there was not.
Looking now at State's Exhibit 44, where was kind of the focus of you all's investigation?
Okay, yeah, the one point of entry that we could find was the broken window right there to the right of that rear patio door.
Now, at the time that the crime scene, that you're supervising and going through the scene, as well as documenting the scene with your crime scene technician, have law enforcement already made entry?
Yes, they have. I believe they cleared the home multiple times.
And so, with some of the glass that's broken out actually from law enforcement?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 47, what's being documented in State's Exhibit 47?
It's a little closer up, obviously, of the window and of that Adirondack chair that's sitting there and some of the glass shards on the ground.
State's Exhibit 48.
More of the shattered glass from the window.
State's Exhibit 49.
And then continuing just to zoom in on the glass.
Looking at State's Exhibit 53 here, what side of the Adirondack are we on?
We're on the back side of it now, so our back would be to the home.
All right, and just for reference purposes, looking at that kind of white scratch, looking at State's 54, what are we looking at there?
That's a shard of glass from the broken window.
And is that kind of a zoom in from the previous exhibit of State's 53?
It is.
Did you see any sort of like marking or pattern on some of the glass? State's Exhibit 55.
Yeah, continuing now, we've zoomed out from that glass just to show that broken window from a different angle.
Now going to State's Exhibit 57 there. At the time that you all were documenting this, is this how the blinds were, kind of like propped on that cat climbing?
Yes, that's how they were when we arrived.
And when you say we, you mean like detectives?
Detectives, yes, sorry. The crime scene unit.
State's Exhibit 58.
All right, yeah, we're zooming in, obviously on the glass, you can see here that's a double pane window, which explains the large amount of glass that we're looking at, and then showing some of the shattered glass inside as well.
State's Exhibit 60 here, what are we looking at?
Now we're inside the home, inside Jacob's playroom, looking back out that broken window.
And what do we have here on the left-hand side?
We have a Christmas tree.
State's Exhibit 61. Is there glass on top of Jacob's little bench there?
Yes, there is.
State's Exhibit 63. What is kind of the vantage point here?
So this is a lower shot with the crime scene technician kind of squatting down, looking back out the window.
State's Exhibit 64.
That's a large amount of glass shards just inside the window on the floor.
State's Exhibit 66. What door are we looking at here in the right upper corner?
So when we were looking at the exterior photos, when you looked at the window, that's the door that was to the left of it. So going into the playroom there, but that's an exterior door.
Was there any glass in front of that door?
Yes, we had glass shards coming in from the window there through the playroom. And that door was locked as well.
State's Exhibit 70.
Now we're looking at that door. So we've zoomed out. You see Jacob's bench right there to the left. So that's the exterior door to the patio.
Looking at State 72 here, what was on that patio door?
It's a child's lock, which I believe we saw on every exterior door of the home.
State's Exhibit 73.
Now this is the front door of the residence.
All right, State's Exhibit 76. What do we see in State's Exhibit 76?
Okay, so now I'm standing, this is back to that broken window, so the Christmas tree would be off to the right there and looking into the living room. Obviously, we have a child's gate that appeared that would have been closing off the playroom from the living room that was knocked over, and some toys lying on top of it, and a cell phone on top of it.
What do we see in this area in front of the fireplace?
And so another baby gate that appeared as if it had been placed around the fireplace but had been moved.
State's Exhibit 77. You mentioned some toys and phones. Is that depicted in State 77 on top of the baby gate?
Correct, it is.
In State 78, we'll circle back to this, but the black item here on State 78,
Yeah, we learned that to be Justin's cell phone.
so that was like an actual real cell phone, not some sort of toy.
Correct.
State's Exhibit 79, what do we see in State 79?
So now we're looking into the living room from the playroom toward the fireplace and that baby gate.
State's Exhibit 80.
Now we're looking at the couch, so just to the left of the fireplace.
State's Exhibit 221.
Now we're looking at Justin and Amber Hicks, deceased, in the living room. If you look directly behind them is the illuminated Christmas tree, and just to the right of that would be the window, the broken window.
And so from where Amber is there on the couch, without moving, would she have been able to see the window?
It does not appear so, no. It should be back behind that wall, tucked in there. Correct, right back there.
State's Exhibit 222.
This is Justin Hicks.
State's Exhibit 223.
It's another angle of Justin.
And what is it that was on Justin's lap there?
It's a child's toy airplane.
Now, from where, let me back up just a minute here. Going back to State's 221 here, had Justin been standing kind of relatively where his feet would have been, or are in this picture in State's 221, would you then have been able to have some vantage point of the window in the playroom?
Yes, if you'd have looked off to his right shoulder, you'd have to turn to look to his right shoulder.
And going back to State's 223 there, Was that like a paper airplane or an actual like plastic?
No, that's a plastic acrylic child's airplane that obviously had been placed there after Justin had fallen.
And why is it that it would have been placed there after Justin had fallen?
I don't see a way it could have stayed where it is if he'd have been standing up. It was not attached to him.
State's Exhibit 224 here. What are we looking at?
That's a closer up look and looking at the amount of blood that's on Justin.
State's Exhibit 225.
Now we're looking at Justin's hands.
State's 226.
This would be Justin's left leg, and then obviously just to the side of there you see a Fisher-Price fire truck.
There's some other pictures of that we'll circle back to. Now looking at States, so going from States 226 here to States 227, what is it that y'all have now zoomed into?
That's a broken shard of glass just off the rug there in the living room.
States 228. What is this item that's on the rug, kind of in front of the ottoman?
It's a child's train whistle that you blow in, mimics the sound of a train.
Zooming in there, States 229. What was located near that child's train whistle?
We have some more broken glass.
States 230. Is that a zoom in of that same piece of glass?
It is.
States 231. What are we looking at here?
Now this would be standing obviously on the other side of Justin, standing over him. Shows how that plane is lying there lightly on his shorts. You can see the fire truck and another toy at his feet.
I'm looking at States 232 here, as well as States 233. What have y'all zoomed in on in those images?
It's what appeared to be a fresh cut on the inside of his thigh.
Going back to States 229 here, could you tell whether that was possibly, and I know that it doesn't portray this well, and I'll know, but whether there was any possible blood stains near some of the shards of glass?
Possible. Obviously, we when you're working a scene like that, we swab and process everything that we think could possibly appear to be blood.
States Exhibit 234, what are we looking at here?
Now again, we've kind of moved a little bit more over Justin, showing the back of his head and the right side of his body now.
And what is behind his head?
Now we have a blood stain on the couch.
States 235, what do we see here kind of in the middle of the photograph?
Now another blood stain on Justin's shirt.
In States Exhibit 236, was there any sort of defect that was noted on
Correct.
the shirt?
Yeah, in the middle or in the area of that blood stain is some sort of hole.
States Exhibit 237, did you see any other defects on his clothing?
Yes, right there on his right arm, right shoulder area.
States Exhibit 238, is that a zoom in of that same shoulder area?
It is.
Looking at States 240, did you all also zoom into the area behind his head?
We did.
I think they only tendered up to 235.
What is
305.
10 to
305.
305.
10 to 305 is what the court admitted. Yes.
Now looking at states 243 here, who is kind of the focus of your attention in these next several photos?
This is Amber Hicks.
States 244. Can you describe kind of the positioning of her body here?
She's lying, her body's on the couch, her feet and her legs are on an movable ottoman. She's partially covered by the blanket there. And obviously you can see her arms down by her side.
And what is this orange object that we can see by her legs?
It's a small ball, a child's toy. And then we also have the monster truck on the other side of her leg.
States 246, is that kind of zooming in on both the ball as well as the monster truck?
It is.
States Exhibit 247 here.
Now we're standing at Amber's feet looking toward her head.
And on the left side, kind of underneath the blanket, what is that?
That would be her other leg.
Is her leg kind of tucked under that blanket?
It is.
States 248, what are we looking at here?
Again, now we're moving more to the left here. We can still see the ball, the monster truck. You can see the defect in Amber's right arm right there and the glasses down off of her face.
States Exhibit 250, how close was that ball to her hand?
Inches? Yeah, maybe 6 inches, maybe.
States Exhibit 251, did she have glasses?
She did.
States 252, is that kind of zooming in on her glasses?
It is, yeah. They were obviously not sitting naturally on her face how she would be wearing them. It appeared they'd either been pulled down from her face or had fallen from her face.
When you say pulled down, like from Jacob? Or?
Yes, from Jake, that was my assumption. With the amount of toys that was on her, that was my assumption.
Looking at states 254 here, what are we looking at in states 254?
That's a defect from a projectile in Amber's right arm.
States 255, what was being documented in states 255?
The blood on the couch coming from Amber.
Now, being there in person, looking at states 256, could you tell whether there was any like coagulated blood or kind of thicker amounts of blood?
Yes, you could. That's typically what we would see from coming from someone's head.
And is that what's documented in 256?
It is.
States 258, what vantage point is states 258 taken from?
This is standing in the kitchen, looking out, or with your back to the kitchen, looking out over the couch toward the fireplace.
States Exhibit 260, that kind of a better image of some of that coagulated blood.
It is. Again, this is standing with your back to the kitchen, looking over the couch.
States Exhibit 265. Could you tell whether there was any defects in her shirt?
Yes, there is one, and obviously a large amount of blood that's in her abdomen area.
to Amber's hand from the couch?
Her cell phone is there. Obviously, there's a water cup, and then we see a baby monitor on the other side of the pillow.
Was that a video baby monitor?
It was.
Okay. Now, was it the kind that you have like a SIM card or some sort of subscription that you can go back on, or just?
No, just a live feed.
Now, is it customary, again, when documenting the scene, to start moving the decedent so that you can better photograph some of the evidence?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Now, is that process also documented?
It is.
All right, looking at states 273 here, explain what we're looking at in states 273.
Okay, so we're looking at, obviously this is Amber's body with her shirt pulled up. We still see the defect there in her right arm. You see an abrasion on her stomach right there. And then a projectile is lying between her right arm and her right hip.
States 274, is that a close-up of that projectile?
It is.
And was that projectile collected?
It was.
I want to show you what I've already shown. Defense counsel states exhibit 600. Do you recognize state 600?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how is it that you recognize state 600?
It is marked as the projectile collected on couch next to Amber Hicks.
And is that what we see in the image on the screen, which is states exhibit 274?
Yes.
State moves to tender states exhibit 600 into evidence.
Any objection? State 600 is admitted.
States exhibit 275, what are you all starting to kind of focus on?
Now we're showing, obviously, the area around Amber there, showing the baby monitor, the monster truck, the toys.
States exhibit 277. Is that a zoom in of that baby monitor?
It is.
Now looking at states 284 here, where are we standing?
Now we're standing just at the feet of Amber inside the couch, the L-shaped couch there, looking back toward the playroom, which is where the entry point is.
Okay. And at this point, had some of the items been marked?
They have been, yes.
Okay. In particular, what was states exhibit, or I'm sorry, not states exhibit, the crime scene exhibit 1, or which had the number 1 marker?
Justin Hicks's cell phone.
Looking at states 289 here, did you all kind of illuminate the screen so you could photograph any notifications?
Yes, we did.
And is that what we see on states exhibit 289?
It is, yes.
And so just to point out some of these things, the very top one here where we can see, well, first of all, what is the timestamp at which y'all are documenting the illuminated cell phone?
That's 11:51 a.m. on Thursday, November 18th.
And so the very first notification here where you can see your camera spotted someone, is that the front doorbell camera that we previously saw in photos?
Yes, the Nest camera.
And again, was there any video you were able to recover in terms of saved video footage?
No, we were not.
And then similarly, where there's 32 minutes ago, person seen zone 1 side door camera, again, was that any sort of footage that you were able to actually retrieve saved images or videos from?
No footage was returned to us.
And based on the notifications and background, is that how you were able to determine this was Justin Hicks' cell phone?
Yes.
And this cell phone that we see in states 289 here, was that collected?
It was.
Let me show you states exhibit 606. Do you recognize state 606?
I do. It says it's a gray Apple iPhone belonging to Justin Hicks.
Is that from marker 1 in the crime scene photos that we're going through?
It is, yes.
Very good. And is that his actual cell phone that you all collected from the scene?
Yes, it is.
Right. State, and there's a biohazard sticker on here. What is that for?
Some sort of bodily fluid. It appeared to be blood on the phone.
State moves to tender State's Exhibit 606 into evidence.
Any objection? State 606 is admitted.
And did it appear, based on you physically being present at the scene and making the observations that you did, that Justin Hicks would have been able to get his phone to this location with possible blood on it?
No, it did not. Our assumption, based off the way the house looked, is that Jacob most likely moved the phone.
State's Exhibit 292 here. What area of the house are we now focusing on?
This is the playroom just to the left of the Christmas tree. So again, we're in the same room where the broken window was.
State's Exhibit 293. What do we see?
We see a pretty decent amount of children's toys spread out on the floor and a trampoline as well.
Throughout the rest of the home, did you see this volume of toys or mess?
No, this home was very clean, very orderly. Obviously, this area here and then where the toys had been moved into the living room where Justin and Amber were the only areas of the home that appeared to not be in order.
And based on how the toys appeared and things being dumped out, did it appear Jacob had been in this room?
Yes, to any of us that have had children, it appeared as if a child had been playing unsupervised.
Looking now at State's Exhibit 296, what did you all find underneath that trampoline?
There's a shell casing underneath it.
State's 297, is that a zoom in of that same shell casing?
Yes, it is.
Circle back to those in just a minute. Now, State's Exhibit 300. Was there additional kind of mess or disarray behind the trampoline?
Yeah, it looked as if possibly these storage cubes had been pulled out from that cubby area and then the toys dumped on the floor there and onto the trampoline.
State's Exhibit 301. Is that kind of a better image?
It is correct. We're standing over the trampoline now looking at the pile of toys.
And on top of the trampoline, this white object, what is that?
Another one of those storage cubes is just collapsed.
And is it underneath this trampoline that we just saw that casing?
Yes, it is.
State's Exhibit 302. What had Justin and Amber put up in their home in the playroom?
A fairly large Christmas tree.
And State's Exhibit, well, you can see it in State's Exhibit 302. Was that lit? I mean, did they have lights on?
Yes, the lights were on. They
And were
appeared as if they
lights-
were twinkling.
So not the steady lights, but
Correct.
kind of twinkle lights. Okay. And were those on when you all first arrived?
They were, yes, ma'am.
Now I want to make our way back towards the living room area, looking at States 81. And I know we've gone out of order here, but it made the most sense. So looking at States 81, what are we now looking at?
Okay, this is, we would be standing with our back to the couch where Justin and Amber are lying, looking at the fireplace.
And you had previously mentioned this baby gate. Was there any ability for that baby gate to be actually like locked into the fireplace, or was it just one that you kind of place in front?
It appeared it had just been placed there. I know there are hooks on the gate, but I don't recall any mounting area for it, any anchors.
The way that baby gate was when you all arrived, did it appear to be really protecting anything?
No, it had been moved.
States 92 here.
We're looking at obviously the built-in cabinetry to the right of the television.
Is this on the other side, states 83?
Correct, that's the built-ins on the left of the television.
Now looking at states 85, were there any toys around the area of the fireplace?
Yes, you had toys obviously inside the baby gate area and outside the baby gate area.
In states exhibit 84, you actually see some additional toys outside of the baby gate area.
You do, yes ma'am.
States exhibit 86, what is this blue object within the baby gate?
It's one of those collapsible tunnels that like a toddler can crawl through.
Did that appear kind of out of place in that location?
It did, yes ma'am.
Just past the little tunnel, states 87, what else was there?
We had a shard of glass laying right there, and then a projectile just to the right of it.
Based on the appearance of the point of entry, would it really have been possible for a shard of glass of this size to land in this particular area from within the living room?
No, that glass had to be carried there in one way or another.
States 89, this kind of an attempted zoom into both the shard of glass and the projectile.
Yes, it is.
I know it's kind of difficult to see. Let me show you states exhibit 90. Or better yet, let's look at states 91. States exhibit 91.
Yes, that's the projectile inside the baby gate, lying just to the right of that shard of glass that we saw.
States exhibit 601. Do you recognize states exhibit 601?
I do, yes. It says it's a projectile collected from the floor in the living room.
Is that what's seen in states exhibit 91?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
State moves to tender state 601 into evidence.
Any objection? State 601 is admitted.
States exhibit 92. What are we looking at in states 92?
This is a dog bed just outside that baby gate area. So this would be to the left of the fireplace.
Did y'all move that dog bed at all?
We did.
Okay, so looking at states 92, is that before y'all had touched it or manipulated it?
Correct. That's how it was when we entered the home.
States exhibit 93, have y'all now moved it at this point?
We have.
Right. States exhibit 94, what is it that was located behind the dog bed?
That's another spent shell casing.
States exhibit 95, is that a zoom in of that same case?
Yes, it is.
Now looking at states 305, what area of the house are we now standing?
So we're now standing. We had moved the couch and the rug at this point. So if you're looking around the right-hand side, we'd be going toward the front door of the home. And that's that Fisher-Price truck that we had seen lying just to the left of Justin originally.
But when you say lying to the left of Justin originally, was that more so in the doorway?
It was, yes. We had to move it as well.
And what is the purpose of moving items such as, something as big as a couch and a rug during the crime scene processing?
We're looking for any sort of evidence. Primarily at this point, we were attempting to find all the shell casings and projectiles that we could.
And did y'all go through kind of tedious and strenuous search efforts to find any additional casings or projectiles?
Yes, I believe we were on the scene until after midnight the following day, so quite some time attempting to find all the shell casings and projectiles.
Now, we can see here on the floor near the baseboard kind of two different markers. Did you all find anything of interest in that area?
Yes, there was fresh damage to the baseboard. Possibly a defect is why we photographed it.
Looking at states 96, is that starting to zoom in on that area?
It is.
And is it customary whenever photographs are taken by one of your crime scene technicians to kind of zoom in on certain areas so that you don't lose your bearings?
Correct.
Looking at states 97, is this the most zoomed in image of that damage?
Yes, it is. You see some damage to the floor, and then obviously to it would appear to be a freshly painted baseboard.
Looking at states 98, which area are we now focused exclusively on?
Now we're looking at the baseboard,
And then states 99,
and that's the flooring just in front of it.
states 100 might be a little bit better lighting. What was noted on the floor?
It's an abrasion or a friction mark of some sort. Our thought process is a projectile could have skipped off the floor and hit the baseboard there.
And did those two markings, there seen in states 97, relatively align with one another?
They did.
Now, going back to States Exhibit 305, did you find any projectile in that area at all?
No, we did not.